which is added from lines text. Oh, and this is added from a OpenGL text of just everything. Where's this split? Because text is a bunch of things. So lines text, this is just one thing. Then it splits it up. Oh, and then I guess it's counting. If it counts the number of characters in each string, compares that to the paragraph, and that's how it decides how to group it. Okay, I don't even know where OpenGL group is even used. And get pieces. Is get pieces called somewhere? Nope. So it isn't from there. I actually have no idea how these OpenGL groups got here. I guess I'll pause at 477. It seems like the logical place to look. If I look at self.lines, those are OpenGL groups, which is already a problem. What's with the last one? None, 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 none. But okay. So ever self.lines is being filled. So I guess through this stretch, they must have gotten those groups. Text, list. That's a V group. Self.lines at 0. No, it's appending groups. It is something with this. Text, list. This is a V group. And it contains groups. So how does that work? I thought that wasn't even allowed. But it is apparently. I'm starting to think that the thing to do is just not have this check here. What was it this time? Fill RGBA doesn't exist? Oh, because it's a group, I think. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. So maybe I do just have to figure out where it came from. The cars lines text list. If I track this, it comes from here, then I add to it based on this lines text. So is that the only problem? Self.lines text. I assume that's a V group. No, that's got to be a V group. It's instance. Or maybe it's not. Assuming I used its instance right. Okay. Character index counter. Oh, so this is cars. Oh, line. Oh, so this is cars. Oh, lines text. If I look at its sub-objects, these are SVG path objects, which is fine. I think the problem might just be the way these are grouped. Doing this... No, this is just gonna append to the list, right? So after I reach here, I think it still won't have any OpenGL groups. What was it even called? Lines text? No, cars, lines, text, list. That's a V group, OpenGL V group. And if I look at some objects, nope, that contains OpenGL groups. So, cars, lines, text, list is being corrupted probably here. What I think I need to do is put OpenGL V group here. There's a positive probability that'll fix it on its own. It still does it. OpenGL V mobject. It's a different error at least. Okay, let's see where this happens. Also, when I instantiate the OpenGL V group, I'm starting to think this isn't the problem. Starting to. So let me run it normally. And then where it fails is here, 477. Maybe this should just be a regular group, even though that seems really weird. Honestly, I'm going to see how this works in the non-OpenGL code. So if I just go to text object, and I go to, I guess it's 477. Here there's a V group. I'm going to see if this has like only vectorized object children. Well, first I have to write the test scene. So there's the OpenGL version. I think I can do the same thing. So go to basic.py, do the same thing. Remove the OpenGL. Oh. That's broken too. Wait. Oh, I don't want to use the OpenGL renderer. This is just the wrong command. I should probably actually remember these commands one day. But not today. Okay. So that works fine, which is annoying. If I look at self.lines, these are SVG path, and it contains V groups. So that contains V groups. If I run it with the OpenGL, Oh wait, and like break wherever. Break here. Break here. Okay, then run that. This contains OpenGL groups, not V groups. So what I think is happening is like here, this is appending V groups, but in the OpenGL version, it's appending regular groups, not V groups. So I'm going to run that in Cairo, and I'm going to get a syntax error. And I'm going to move that back out. Yeah, good enough. And still 453. Oh, I just didn't save it. Different cars, lines, text, list. This is a V group. When I step into this, get item goes to group class. Group class is a V group. Okay, I'm gonna run the same thing under OpenGL. And here, group class is an OpenGL group. So I guess get group class is broken. If I look at self, for the respective text classes, okay, so I have to see where get group class. So for mobject, it's group. OpenGL mobject, it's OpenGL group. Factorize mobject. Ah. It would be something like that. I'll sing a different song. This should be an OpenGL V group. Okay. So now comment that and comment this and run this with OpenGL. It works great. That was fun. Depending on your definition of fun. So where was I? Cairo text works. Paragraph works. Text works. Is that everything? Markup text. Pretty sure I've never used this in my life. But okay. This is a big class. I think I can just uncomment everything now. So OpenGL there, OpenGL there. OpenGL there, OpenGL there. Okay, then just gonna take the example. One of the examples. Boy, do we have a lot of documentation. Okay, let's try that, the examples. Boy, do we have a lot of documentation. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so now, creating all these texts. So I have to be OpenGL. Add the, I'll write it. Okay. Endpoints per cubic curve, classic. This is the exact same logic. Why is this duplicated so much? So this points per curve. So I'll have this, then I'll have pretty much the same logic for points. This will be each dot data at points. Otherwise it'll be each dot points. Points equals each dot points. Okay. And did something else wrong? Is that what it's supposed to be? Mob is not defined. Is it supposed to be colored or something? No, I guess that's not until later. So I think that worked. Great. We really need to default the camera. Oh, whatever. It's annoying that you can't tilt this downward. You can only tilt this upward by default. But if you tilt downward, you can go a full 360 degrees. It seems like it should be halfway. But anyway. So that worked. Now I can just see how all these examples work out. Although I do have to add this file. Wasn't trying to do that. Okay. Then, okay. Then I'll commit that. Ignore the random them errors. I refuse to believe that that worked that easily. Yeah, that's more what I was expecting. What happened here? Dang, I'm gonna have to compare. Okay, so what went wrong here? OpenGL vectorized object. If I just diff the OpenGL vectorized object file here and the one from Manim 3 that I saved. Manim object. What are the differences? They're really similar, actually. So how does this error make sense? Missing one required positional argument path string. This might be hard to debug. OpenGL text symbol. It's setting the path string here. Why is it setting the path string, but it's not passing it? Is there a problem with OpenGL SVG path? Can I change this to OpenGL SVG path? Which isn't there. Was an SVG. Wait, where is it? Manim object SVG, OpenGL SVG path. Okay, and I'll compare it to the one from here. And there's no difference. So how? This is why I hate merging. Where is path string even being passed? I have to go here. CG path. If I just search for path string being passed. It's never passed. So what init function is expecting a path string? And it's a init function, no less. SVG path object. And OpenGL SVG path object, I assume. And this one is passing a path string. I hate merging. I'm just going to go here to line 120. And put a breakpoint there. Okay, so let's see where we are. So I initialized OpenGL tech, which initialized OpenGL math tech, OpenGL single string tech, single string math tech, SVG object, Vim object, dot init, and this Vim object init is trying to call its superclass init